Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with the nation. PDP Board of Trustees may ask Ayu to resign over crisis. Picture here of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu on his cycling. He says, "I am hale and hearty," says Tinubu. He is showing that he's fit because many were worried at its absence at the inaugural at the inauguration of the elections at the campaign. Accord. The peace accord, yes, the peace accord event that happened. People were wondering why he was absent. So he had to show that he's hale and hearty. Ohaneze to Southeast, don't take Atiku seriously. Federal government to develop 66,761 water schemes. Government abduct Kwara monarch, wife and driver. Faina wins Big Brother Nigeria 100 million naira. And PFN to Nigerians, vote competence, not religion. Okay, which story are we starting with?
Quickly, the Indonesia tragedy that happened over the weekend.
That was in Punch, not Nation.
No, it's in the front page of Nation. So 125 people died in the stampede that, is carried as the crush that happened in Indonesia. And according to the newspapers, 2 of the football clubs, Arema FC and another football club played, and Arema FC lost. And because of that, bitter rivals clashed with other crowds and supporters at the stadium. And before you knew it, this fight happened, the police fired tear gas to disperse them. And so there was rush, and then there was a stampede that led to the death of 125 people. 300 people were rushed to the hospitals. And so the figures might go up, but sadly, this is what, they've landed with. The FIFA boss, the FIFA president is saying this is the saddest he's witnessed in a long time. And this is very avoidable if we are not sorry losers. It's okay to have sports and it's okay to
bring us
win.
Together.
I was playing football with my kids on Saturday, in the evening. I usually come out to play football. And my son will cry because he lost. I kept talking to him about it's okay, to lose and all of that. This is avoidable.
Dr. Adeyemi Adebowale in Edo State was arrested. He's actually the Chief Medical Director of Kaiama General Hospital. An investigation led the team to his office, where they found a pit. We had dug and buried his girlfriend. I think her name was withheld. And then he had also killed another housewife, somebody else's wife. They found the grave with a decomposing corpse of the young girl in his office. Further search of the office led to the opening of a trash can where another body of a lady later identified as the wife of another person was found. This investigation in Edo State Command, they're requesting the release of the suspect of the Kwara so that they can do investigation commenced 22nd of September 2022, and they're hoping that they can get all the various aspects of this case. But I'm so happy they were able to arrest the doctor who later confessed. He's the CMD of Kaiama General Hospital. What he killed them for, why he killed them, it hasn't really been explained right now, but the point is that he was arrested and he had confessed to the crime.
So I want to take the COVID-19 update from the NCDC. We got a report that about 7,000 Nigerians are yet to recover from COVID-19. We know that we had, according to the report, as of September 30, 2022, 7,000 Nigerians are still recovering from COVID-19. Confirmed cases were 265 COVID-19 cases, 3,155 deaths, and 258,000 people fully recovered. You know the way they report news? If 250 people recovered, how come we are highlighting the 7,000 people that have not recovered? Shockingly, though, about 60 of the laboratories that were set up to test for COVID are not functional. 57 are owned by government. About 3 are corporate laboratories. A few of them 13 are testing, but are not reporting to NCDC. These are out of the 150 that are in the NCDC network. I think we've relaxed a bit because there's we can now be immunized against COVID, but the NCDC is saying that there are still cases being confirmed daily, and so we should be on the watch for ourselves.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Let's move on now to the Punch. Aggrieved governors meet in Enugu, plot IU's removal. Anger as over 120 fans die in Indonesia. Pay our salaries, doctors tackle Imo, Ondo, and Ekiti. FG finds all firms 127 billion naira for gas flaring. Adeboye plans national prayer fasting, says nation troubled. Strike, reps meet Buhari's Tuesday, FG warns against ASU. And PFN to Nigerians, vote competence, not religion, the nation. Yeah.
Okay, so doctors are shouting, pay our salaries. They're talking to the government of Imo, Ondo, and Ekiti. So at the communicate where the doctors met their usual annual AGM, let me quickly find it. Their annual general meeting and scientific conference of the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors that were held in Abia State, they issued a communique where they are asking that, the government or Nigerians prevail on the governments of Imo, Ekiti, and Ondo State to pay up salaries and arrears that is being owed their members across the states. But in that same communique, they quickly appreciated the federal government for the payment of their medical residency training. But even though it was paid in the old rate, they're asking that, going forward, the new rate of that payment from 2023 Appropriation Act should be followed. They also went on to ask the federal government to expedite the payment of their new hazard allowances contained in the circular from the National Salaries, Income and Wages Commission dated December 22nd, 2021. And, they issued the reference as well. They're also asking the federal government to urgently pay skipping arrears for 2014, 2015, and 2016 to deserving members. So, in this entire report, there are several arrears, allowances, and salaries owed, particularly Imo State, Ekiti, and Ondo State, who are owing over 24 months of, salaries. In Abia State, the government of Abia State paid 7 months out of 24 months of salaries owed to the resident doctors. I cannot imagine owing in 2 years. And we expect these people to work. We know that we already have a deficit of doctors, and we have doctors still leaving. We can't continue to encourage, just go. Find better ways. Yes. Even the ones that are here that are willing to stay, those that are willing to stay, let's make it worthy. Yeah. Give them better conditions. I can't even understand this report.
Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. So, still reviewing Punch, the president of the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, PFN, Bishop Wale Oke, has admonished that competence and not religion or ethnicity should be the main consideration of Nigerians in deciding President Muhammadu Buhari's successor going forward. He also said that he is willing to vote for either a Muslim or a Christian as long as the person has the ability and is able to see exactly what they plan to do. He further advised Nigerians to not sell their votes in the coming elections to money-backed politicians and said every voters should identify one of the 18 candidates and be sure which one they want to go ahead to vote for. He also warned that even the people working with the politicians are desperate, oppressive, domineering, and divisive politicians are gearing up to cause, to kill and destroy. And we must ensure that we stay clear of those who are pushing violence or forcing people to collect money for votes. And pretty much this is the kind of admonition we're going to be hearing in the coming months up until the election, because every leader that has a follower, everyone who has listening, who has the listening ear of Nigerians will definitely continue to admonish us to not sell our votes, to vote our conscience. Because at the end of the day, Nigeria must still stand. Okay.
So I want to take the story of fuel subsidy and its impact on our economy. So 3.92 trillion naira has been spent on petrol subsidy between January 2020 and June 2022. Over that 30-month period, the amount we spent on just subsidizing petrol is higher than the cumulative budget of health, education, and defense over that 30-month period. Even in the past 6 months, it was still, the government spent 2 trillion on fuel subsidy, while cumulative budget for health, education, and defense stood at 2.8 trillion, which begs the question that all the experts are asking. who exactly are we serving with the fuel subsidy? Whose interests are we serving? Because the impact of paying fuel subsidy means that we're not putting enough to education, to health, and into defense. And these are critical areas of the government. There were several conversations that many previous governments have overlooked the challenges within the subsidy sector, and we are pushing it forward. That one of the experts said the Nigeria's fuel subsidy program has continued to limit remittance to the federal government allocation accounts from the National Petroleum Company Limited, and it has also limited funding to states and local governments. They believe that Nigerians shouldn't be shouldering the cost of education and health while some people are benefiting from the cost of subsidy. We really need to sit and discuss. We shouldn't post it till after elections. It is costing us too much as we keep shifting this payment of, cancelling payment of subsidy.
Okay, let's move on quickly now to Daily Sun. Cracks in APC deepen as moves against Adamu thickens. CBN spends 2.6 trillion naira intervention fund on 3 sectors. 2023 elections, politicians, police train pilots, aircraft engineers for aerial surveillance. IPOB suspends sit-at-home order as Kanu appears in court tomorrow. Code of Conduct Bureau commissioners petition Senate accuse chairman of blocking corruption probe. And Nigeria at war, says Adeyemi. Don't allow corrupt politicians. Mediocrity lead anymore, PFN tells Nigerians. Okay. Story starting with the Daily Sun.
I want to take the CCB story. So, the Code of Conduct Bureau, 6 commissioners from the federal commissioners of the Code of Conduct Bureau have accused the chairperson of the Bureau, Professor Mohammed Issa, of corrupt practices. They're insisting through the spokesperson, one of the commissioners, Dr. Emmanuel Atta, while appearing before the Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petitions, said that in the last 4 years, Mr. Issa has continued to protect or prevent the investigation of public officers. He's been blocking the investigation of public officers with multi-million and billion assets undeclared in their asset declaration form. And the chairman of the Senate Committee had summoned him last weekend, but he refused to appear. So they've given him another date, which is Thursday, the October 6th, to appear before that committee. I hope he appears. This is serious. He was alleged to have enabled the Accountant General in the fraud that he was, charged for recently. He had enabled him because he refused his investigation as well. I hope that he appears and he is able to clear his name. Otherwise, he should be an accomplice in this.
Okay, so I was privileged to hear the sermon of the RCCJ pastor yesterday. Was again reminding us of the issue of insecurity that we have prevalent in our nation, asking that we should have peace in the midst of the storm. And he was also admonishing that nobody's safe, even kings and governors, nobody's safe. So what's the point in us having a nation when everybody doesn't even feel safe? No matter how much security you have with you, you still don't feel safe. So he was just praying. I said, we must pray for our leaders. We must pray for our leaders. No matter how you feel, it's important for us to pray for our leaders because they are the leaders, and it's how we pray for them that they can be. That's how successful they can get. And he's saying, and he just, it was an interesting sermon yesterday, and I guess it made the papers. Yeah.
The IPOB story. IPOB, as the indigenous people of Biafra, have clarified that they didn't issue a sit-at-home, any directive for sitting at home. That they didn't issue the sit-at-home order because some reports came out that the IPOB had issued a sit-at-home order on Tuesday, October 4th, because that's the day that Nnamdi Kanu is meant to appear in court, and the publicity secretary of IPOB has said that that's Emmanuel Powerful on Sunday, urged the people of the region to ignore any of those kind of rumors, adding that they are not responsible for those peddling falsehood and they should stop it immediately. Generally, there is no body going to enforce it at home. It did not come from IPOB. And then the conversation tilted into the court's appearance that will take place tomorrow. I don't think it is necessary. Just let's let the court follow its due course. But for the sit-at-home, they are saying they did not give such order. So let's let them go out tomorrow.
Try to expedite this trial.
Yes,
it's taking
because
so
long. The remaining part of this article is all about them attacking the government and all of that, which isn't necessary for us to.
Okay, the Nigerian Tribune, we're going to take the points. Let's take the point very quickly. Kokonso, contender, or spoiler. Salary earners recount ordeals amid cost of living crisis. Police confirm arrest of hospital CMD. killing girlfriend and one other person. LP leaders refused to submit names of Lagos National Assembly candidates to INEC because of 30 million naira bribe. Atiku's consistent struggle to be president and serial losses in the north. And man accused of evil hacks mother to death. You have the story, any story there, Topper? Okay, let's move on now to the Nigerian Tribune. Wike Makinde, 3 others meet in Enugu, consider options. NDLA arrests ex-footballer for cocaine trafficking at the Lagos airport. FG to concession, Abuja, Kaduna, Lagos, Ibadan, and Itupe, Mori rail lines. 2 German shepherds belonging to church kill a man in Lagos.
Oh my God.
Bauchi co-ops hunters into forest guards to fight insecurity. Flood sacks Edo communities, displaces over 100 people. Decomposing bodies of 2 missing ladies found in Kwara CMD's office. And states to access World Bank's $750 million facility by December. Islamic cleric who saved Christians airport cleaner among 437 national honorees. Okay, which story are taken in the Nigerian Tribune? I was going to take the NDLEA story. There was a young man, let me guess his name. Operative of the agency arrested a Brazilian returnee, Chinedu Damian, and he was coming, but he used to play for the, I think, the Enugu FC, I believe. He was coming in through the Ethiopian Airlines, and they found 1.40 kg of cocaine in his belongings. This young man was coming in from Brazil, and the NDLA on Sunday said that the 33-year-old indigene of Abia State was arrested in September 26 after anti-narcotics officers discovered that he concealed the illicit substance in the handles of his bag. That's a handle, not the bag itself, the handle of the bag, and padded the top edges of the same with a class A drug, that's cocaine. During the preliminary interview, Okafor disclosed that he was an ex-footballer with the University of Nigeria Teaching Hospital, that's Enugu FC, where he played for 4 seasons before leaving to Sri Lanka in 2014. So this is another Nigerian star who could have done better, but unfortunately made wrong choices.
So
okay,
Bauchi, yes, the governor of Bauchi has co-opted the Nigerian Hunters and Forestry Security Service into its forest guard efforts to tackle crime and criminality within the forest. So the information came through the Senior Special Assistant to the State Governor on Security, Aliyu Umar, disclosed this while briefing this journalist over the weekend that because of the challenges of deforestation, there are people that are logging and making charcoal, and this is in line with the extant rules and regulation guiding forest reserves. They have decided to cooperate with the Nigerian Association of Hunters and created a new unit to secure the forest of Bauchi. They say, well, they're grateful to the governor for providing the organization with the necessary funds to ensure that they are able to secure the forest across the state. We also know that the forest is usually where criminals hide and carry out their negative actions. So we're looking forward to how this would reduce issues of security management, which is part of the things that they are also going to be dealing with in the forest.
So the state honor, Abdullahi Abubakar, the Islamic cleric, that's the imam in Plateau State, who was able to hide about 262 Christians in a mosque during a bandit attack, is one of those nominated, one of the 437 persons nominated by the federal government to receive national honors. And he's to receive the Member of the Order of the Niger. This award is to be presented by the president today in Abuja at the State House. And speaking on what motivated him, he also talked about how he has never experienced such a terrible thing. I think this particular act that he did continues to stand out as the example of humanity that we should follow. I also commend those who nominated him. I think he's overdue for that honor anyway.
Okay.